Welcome to the next level.
Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy, Young Obed, and here we are with that Q&A video. So I hadn't done a Q&A video since year 3, which was a couple years ago, of course, since this is year 5, but I'm glad to be doing this again. It's been a minute since I last did the Q&A video, and I'm excited to answer y'all's questions. Hopefully my answers will satisfy you. We'll see. If not, then I don't know what to tell you, but without any further ado, let's get right into it. So this first question's from Official. He's a good producer friend of mine. If you haven't, go check him out. And his question is, have you ever thought of producing genres of music outside of your usual comfort zone? Loving the content and the updates. Well, I appreciate it, Al. Yeah, for sure. I've thought about doing more than just chiptune or the electronic music that you're used to seeing me do. I'm definitely wanting to hit the ground running with year 6 and doing all sorts of new things. So, if you're looking forward to more than just chiptune or electronic music, then this is the place to be. I'm excited to be doing that. I'm going to be for sure exploring a lot with guitars, with recording, because I only just recently got the equipment to be able to record my electric guitar, and I have a better mic as well, so I'll also be able to maybe even perform some acoustic performances as well, which I'm very excited for. And who knows, might even see a couple of metal hits, a couple of dubstep EDM bangers. I don't know. We'll see. But I appreciate the question, man. Next question comes from another good friend of mine, Sam Under Stars, another banger of a music producer and heck of a pianist as well. Please go check him out. Favorite genre to listen to and favorite chord progression to use in your songs. I want to say within the last couple of years for sure my favorite genre has been metalcore. That's definitely one of my favorite genres. I also just like straight up hard rock. I love Christian rock. There's a couple of bands like Fireflight and Skillet that I like to listen to. In terms of favorite chord progressions, honestly, I don't think I have a favorite chord progression in songs. A lot of times whenever I make music, I go off of feeling. I like to challenge myself in that I make a song that might not be directly inspired by something, but if there's a specific feeling that I just want to go for, then I have to build the story around this feeling that I have. So I want to say that throughout my musical library, my chord progressions are varied, but I could be wrong. I don't remember every single chord progression at this very moment that I have for each song. But if you have any favorite chord progressions, then please feel free to let me know what your favorite chord progression is for me. The next one comes from another friend of mine, Kat Zinnia. What's your favorite song you've made or helped to work on this year? Oh, okay, that's a good question. Let's see. I think it would have to be between my two first tracks for year 5, that being Justice Park Avenue from Sonic Forces and More Ordain or Roaming the Waste from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I would have to say it's between those two because, for example, Justice was me singing, and I had a really, really, really good time like practicing those vocals and making sure I nailed those notes. And I want to say I did a pretty good job with that, and I hope to do more with that. And the reason why I also picked the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 cover is because I also really, really love that song, and I love the Xenoblade Chronicles soundtrack. I'm hoping to do a lot more with Xenoblade Chronicles in the future. I think it's safe to say that I will definitely have another Xenoblade Chronicles 2 track coming up in year 6, but I definitely want to experiment some Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So, thanks for the question, Kat. Next question. This one is from Big Jets 1. If you were able to put your original song in a rhythm game, what game would it be and why? Would you add a song you made before, or would you make a new song specifically for the game? I've never gotten a question like that before. I do have a couple of tracks from previous years. I definitely have my zone tracks, Into the Zone. I have a couple of tracks or a good bit of tracks in that compilation album from like last year, I believe. Have a lot of hip-hop elements in them, specifically with the beat patterns, so I think a lot of those would be fun to put in a rhythm game. I'm not sure what rhythm game I would put it in, but I think those are definitely contenders. I want to work more with more original music for sure in year 6. I feel like original music has kind of sort of taken a back seat as of late, and I always told myself when I first started making music that I would do more originals than I would covers because I like to express my stories as well as other stories. So hopefully I'll be able to do that more. Oh yeah, and then of course the last part of that question, would you add a song you made before, or would you make a new song specifically for the game? I would probably make a song specifically for the game because I do understand that it can be hard to just take something that was already pre-existing and apply it to something new, that can be a challenge in and of itself, because maybe certain aspects of the song don't match up with what you're looking for in the rhythm game. But I have no doubt, like, if I were given the opportunity to make a song for a rhythm game, I'd love that, or make music for a rhythm game. I mean, eventually I want to be able to make music for video games in general, so I'm very excited about that. What first got you into music? From my good friend the Daffinator. Go check her out, please. What first got me into music? So I'm uncertain if this is a question about, hey, it's me from the future, or I guess the editor version of me. But unfortunately, I was not recording, apparently, for this part. I started answering the question, and I remember answering the question, and I guess my phone, for whatever reason, was not recording. So I'll just go ahead and answer this question briefly right here by saying what got me into music was going to a concert back in 2017, the same year I first started making music, and I heard an artist named Gavi open up for all these other Christian artists, and I was blown away by the original sound that he had, that he brought to the table in this, in that Christian world. So, I was very much wanting to make my own stories, bring my own unique takes to music, just like he was, and he wasn't afraid of that, and I'm not afraid of that either. So I was inspired by him to make my own music. And it's kind of crazy to think about that. I probably wouldn't have even been making music if it wasn't for Gavi or going to that concert. So yeah, thanks Gavi. Back to the show. This one's from your boy Panda23 over on Instagram. He's also a dope music producer and a pretty good lyricist and rapper, if I do say so myself. So please go check him out as well. Your boy Panda asks, what's your favorite video game soundtrack? Okay, I would definitely say that's rotated over the years, but right now my favorite video game soundtracks are between two games, Sonic Mania and Sonic Rush. Why? Well, why don't you go listen to those soundtracks and then you tell me why. Your boy Panda again asks, who's my boy's waifu? Who's my waifu? Well, I hate to say, man, but I don't really have one. What are you looking at? Next question comes from my boy Ramiro. How much time is dedicated to making music? Is it difficult to fit into your schedule? I like that question, man. How much time does it take to make music? I wouldn't say there's a definitive time or definitive answer to that, but if I'm really dedicated to, really getting a track out, especially by a certain time, a certain period that I've set for myself, and especially if I post online like I did recently about saying like, hey, I'm gonna post a track every Saturday, and this video that you're watching is gonna be posted whenever it goes up, and that kind of stuff definitely makes me accountable, because there have been times in the past where I might not have a deadline for myself, or maybe I didn't say when I was going to post something, so then it takes me longer than it has to post something. I would say at least an hour to a day I'll spend on a track. My workflow is not really the best right now, but I'm hoping to change that as time progresses. And the next part of your question, is it difficult to fit into your schedule? Yes, it's very difficult to fit into my schedule, especially with school going on, and even while I'm out of school, sometimes I help out my family, or I say sometimes, but a lot of times I'm helping out my family with whatever is needed of me. It's very much a time-consuming process, but I love it all the same. When school starts back up in the spring, my biggest goal is to not have to put down music like I did in the fall, like I did last spring. I think one thing that'll help, I'm trying to get more rest. I've been fixing up my sleeping schedule lately, so I've been getting up at like 6:30 in the morning, maybe even a little earlier, maybe a little later, but early enough to where I can get the day started. I spend some time with God, and then I try to hit the ground running with a lot of things, whether that be graphic design, editing a video, or making music. So it can be hard to fit into the schedule, but I think if I just prioritize what needs to be prioritized, that being God first, and then everything else will fall into place. So thanks for that question, man. This next question comes from my boy JT, John J. Torres 2000. Dream voice role to be cast. Dream voice role to be cast. Well, I feel like a nerd saying this, but I think a lot of you already know that I'm a big fan of Sonic, and while I'm not saying I would like to be cast as Sonic in particular, while that would be awesome. I would just love to be a part of that cast because that gaming franchise as a whole means so much to me. I grew up playing that game, and I would love to bring a character to life in the Sonic franchise. And I would also love to be in a fighting game. Sometimes I'll voice Terry Bogard in fan projects, and I would love to voice Terry one day. That would be amazing. I love that character. Thanks for the question, JT. My boy Permanently Young. How does one be the Delando Brass? Well, it's real simple. First anyway guys, that's it for the Q&A. I very much am thankful for you all supporting me for the past 5 years. 5 years. And the celebration of year 5 will have to come to a close today, as it is, well, around New Year's. I'll be posting this video on New Year's Eve, of course. So yeah, this is gonna be the last bit of content of the year, of year 5 of 2022. And please, y'all, like, whoever's watching this video, if you're still here, I appreciate it. God bless y'all. Have a good new year. We're gonna go into 2023. We're gonna punch it in the mouth, and then it's gonna be our friend because it respected us for being straightforward. And then we're going to knock it out of the park. We're gonna have a good year. All right, I promise you, we're gonna have a good year. I just hope that you all have a good one. I really do. So, as I said before, thank you very much for the support. I always appreciate it. And this is Young Obed signing out. From my boy, DS_Rabbit. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? I'm probably cutting that part out.
Take on the enemy, strike them down.